December 16th. 2 nights ago, we left a bay where we had been anchored. We were trying to catch the light breeze that had come up when in the moonlight we came upon a lone man in a small canoe paddling frantically in the rough water. Columbus ordered him taken aboard, and once he was with us, breathless and uncertain, he was showered with gifts. The captain couldn't give him enough beads and bells and rings, and the man grew very happy and grateful. Columbus offered to take him to his home in our ship, which we did. The next morning, we drew close to the shore and let the canoe down into the water, and the man paddled away. It wasn't long before a crowd of natives had gathered on the beach. There were hundreds of them, and they slowly paddled out to our ship, and some were taken aboard. These people were different from the others we have met. They were fair, with skin as light as my own, and they brought nothing with them to trade. But when one of the crew would reach out and touch a bracelet or earring, the wearer willingly slipped it off and gave it freely. It was clear they were a gentle people. They touched our heads with 2 hands and kept pointing back to shore. There we could see a very young man arriving with much fanfare. He was clearly their king. He would not come out to us at first, but stood at the shore, his arms crossed over his chest and his 2 old advisors close to each other. What a sight our ship must have seemed to these people. The captain sent him a gift the queen had earmarked for royalty, and he sent the message. One, he now believes himself, that we are from heaven and are searching for gold. Later, the young chief did come out, and Columbus treated him with a great ceremony, giving him more gifts and then some food. I thought Diego would have to jump overboard to hide his laughter when the native chief took one taste of our Castilian food and then passed it on to his advisors. Before the chief left, he made it clear his island was ours, and we had only to ask to be given whatever we need. This was much like a farmer opening the gate to let in a plague of grasshoppers. We will make the island ours. We will take whatever we need. December 25th. How will I ever tell Mother this? Her son has shamed her worse than any naked native or gold-greedy sailor. My friends cannot meet my eye. Ruiz scowls whenever he sees me, and even Diego pats my shoulder in pity when he passes. I hide from the captain lest he order me to be tied and gagged and shot from Nina's lombard. There is nothing worse that I could possibly report. I am lucky to still have my journal. I am lucky to be alive. Last night, after midnight, all alone, and with my own 2 hands, I sank the Santa Maria. It was midnight, and I turned the sand glass and called out my midnight call. I doubted that anyone had heard me, though, for the crew had had a Christmas Eve celebration at dinner. The captain had cracked a cask of wine, and spirits had been high. No one had slept for 2 nights due to the natives swarming all over the boats at unexpected hours, so the wine lulled everyone to an early sleep, even the helmsman. I stood by him a while, missing home and thinking of the midnight mass that my mother would go to, wrapped in her shawl against the wind from the hills. I was hoping Senor Morales had come with his wagon again this year to take her. We were nearly 10 miles east of the coast of the Punta Santa, and there was no wind at all, and the sea was like a bowl of water, still and silent, across the calm waters and under the new moon sky. I could barely make out the mast and sails of the Nina. Ruiz was at the helm, yawning and nodding. Sancho lets me steer sometimes, I told him. He's not supposed to, Ruiz answered. But I am very good. Need I say more? Before I knew it, Ruiz was curled at my feet, and my only concern was that the captain would hear him snoring. I held my course, my eyes always on the right star. I swear it is so. We barely moved through the light night puffs. But soon the Nina seemed to drift away, and I could no longer see her. I began to hear a gentle swish, but took no heed of it. Being tired myself, and it was all lost anyway in the squeaks and groans and rattles of the rigging. But soon there was no denying. The sound was louder, and I didn't know what it was. I was about to kick Ruiz when there was a horrible scraping and grinding, and the whole boat shuddered. I think the captain was at the helm only seconds after Ruiz bolted to life and took the tiller away from my hands. Then there was no mistaking it. I was listening to the crash of the surf on a barrier reef, and then the sound of a coral reef punching holes in our hull. The Santa Maria is gone. December 27th. The captain now says that it was for the best, that it was a blessing from God disguised as a catastrophe. Still, I am no longer the favored ship's boy. I have no strong voice to sing the prayers or to call the watch. I can't bear the gazes of the captured natives, and this morning I chased and swatted at a big-mouthed parrot until I pushed him right over the edge of the ship, and he flew to the mast. No one can reckon with me now. Diego tries to tell me I am forgiven, that all is forgiven, but I am furious that everyone was so quick to blame me when I did nothing wrong. I was the only one awake. I was loyal and hardworking. For this I was blamed and forced to carry everyone else's guilt for their own drunken sleep and their cowardice. Yes, their cowardice. The scene on the sinking ship was pathetic. When the captain came on the deck, he immediately ordered an anchor to be taken to the small boat we tow astern, and the anchor to be carried far out and secured so we could pull ourselves away from the reef by pulling ourselves towards the anchor. The captain sent Juan de la Casa into the boat with some men, but instead of taking the anchor out, they rowed for their own lives towards the Nina and left us all to sink. Columbus went into a rage as they rowed away, and he ordered the Santa Maria's heavy mainmast to be cut down to lighten her. But with each order and with each shout, we could all feel the ship grinding herself onto the sharp and deadly coral below. Of course, the Nina would not take Juan de la Cosa and his men aboard, but sent them back with another small boat to help. Then we were taken to a group at a time to the Nina, where we spent the night watching the Santa Maria impale herself on the reef while the captain wept openly in front of his men. How grateful I am that at sunrise the native chief came aboard and, weeping himself at our dilemma, tried to comfort Columbus with gifts of gold, with promises of more gold, and with directions to the east where gold could be found in abundance. Suddenly, upon hearing this, the captain was saying that the Santa Maria was too heavy and unstable anyway for the business of discovery, and her sinking became, in Columbus's own words, the predestined will of God and a stroke of good luck. A stroke of luck. The only luck I can imagine for myself would be to wake up in my mother's house and hear her sweeping the hearth, and to know that this was all a terrible dream. January 2nd. Now there are 40 of us crowded on the board of the Nina, with 22 of their crew, not counting the natives the captain has taken aboard. How strange the natives must think we are. These pale men from heaven who cram themselves into wooden tubs to float for all eternity on the sea. Even I think they are crazy. These men who are so obsessed with gold, they have forgotten all about their families and their lives. There is a solution to all this overcrowding, though. We are leaving a settlement here, on a beach, within sight of the wrecked Santa Maria. The settlement's name will be La Navidad, which shames me and causes me to blush every time I hear it. The native chief has helped us salvage all we could from the wreck, wood and tools to build with, stores of food and other provisions. And the captain has ordered 39 men who volunteered to stay to build a fortress and a tower so that Spain will have a place to come back to on future voyages. Columbus is prepared to go home to Spain now with the uncertainty that there is gold here. Sorry, I lost my spot. And that once a Spanish settlement has been established, our explorations will be more effective. As I write, the Lombards are shooting at the Santa Maria to sink what is left of her above the water and impress the natives with our warrior skills and our might. Me, I will be glad when I am no longer haunted by the grim stare of the broken Santa Maria off the beach, and I can leave her behind.